Okay, well, we are back again. Hope everybody is well. We are live once again with the Radical Sim Racing Pros with myself, James Parfitt, and Dan Peebles into the booth with me this evening. Good evening, Dan. How are you, buddy?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, James. Yeah, I'm stunned to be back once again with the pros. Of course, we've seen the AMs. They just finished. So controversy in there, if I watched it correctly, and if I saw it correctly.
Yes, you did.
But well, overall, I think it was an amazing race, and I think we're in for more of the same here with the pros.
Yeah, you can see the championship standings on your screen. Currently, Christoph Lipp is in first. Eric Isaacson in second. Kettle Larsen third. Sebastian Lipp in fourth. It's quite close at the top. 18 points between the top three. Sebastian Lipp in fourth place. Sven-Göran Mathiesen fifth. John McCutcheon sixth. Lasse Sorensen seventh. Stefan Severia eighth. For Dennis Kyrgiakopoulos ninth. And Rafael Blanco 10th. They are currently the top 10 that will go into the live final. Mike Busson in 11th. Joachim Kjod in 12th. Jakob Behrens in 13th. Daniel Sedgley 14th. Paul Clark 15th. Kim Andre Bjorklund 16th. Ruben Rodriguez 17th. And Jack Ashton down in 18th place. Now, beyond that, we've got Paul Crabb in 19th, Ivan Bramer 20th, Max Klopper 21st, Dennis Marquardt in 22nd. We then go into the relegation zone. Flavio Ferreira is in 23rd, Martina Ward 24th, Thomas Renders 25th, Rob Williams 26th, and Graham Brown in 27th place. These are the relegation candidates currently at the moment. If they want to get out, they've got to have a good few races down to be able to stand, to be in any chance of getting out and relegated down to AMS. We are 5 seconds away from quali. So here we go. And once again, as per always, don't forget, give the video a big old thumbs up, turn on the bells for notifications, and subscribe to the channel. That would be absolutely incredible. We've just hit 580 subscribers today, so that's absolutely amazing.
Onwards and upwards, they say, James. Onwards and upwards. Talking about relegated to the AMS, of course, last season it was exactly the same, or exactly the same system, if I'm correct. And, well, I think we can see in the AMS now that, well, it isn't a big step down by any means, to be honest, James. I think if you get relegated here, it won't be easy to get up into the pros again.
No, it's a tough, because even the pros are flying, do you know what I mean? Even the AMs are flying, so to get involved with them and to stay on top of that is going to be an incredible job anyway. So, you know, from their point of view, they've got a lot to try and do and try and get some good results together. Obviously, guys, Paul Clark there on the screen on qualifying from iLounge Racing. If you are heading up to iLounge Racing tomorrow, I will see you. I am leaving my house at 6:30 in the morning. So...
Okay.
Wish me
very
luck.
early.
Yes, very early. So wish me luck. Yeah, wish me luck on that one, because I've got to get up at 6:30. I've got to get up at about 5:30 to get ready to get everything sorted out, and then off to iLounge Racing at about 6:30 in the morning. So that should be fun. So if you are up and about there tomorrow, much love. Don't forget to wear your name tags, because I'm going to have no idea who you are, whereas you will know who... Whoa, Paul, that's not a great advert, mate, when I'm bigging you up currently at the moment, is it? It just goes off there. So don't forget to wear your name tags, because I'm not going to have a clue who you are, but you'll all know me. So that's nice.
Yeah, well, see it like this, James. The earlier you wake up, the more you will have of your day.
This is true.
Which is always nice.
And the good thing is I'm normally going to bed about a few hours earlier than that. So it's quite nice tonight to actually get half a decent amount of sleep. To be honest, but we do have the SRL GR86 League coming up straight after this as well. That's the fun race from Okayama, so stay tuned for that one, because it's going to be absolutely amazing as well. Good luck getting the kids up at that time. Well, the thing is with that, Phil, right, is Paul spoke to them at the Birmingham International. Spoke to me and my wife, and we passed on his information to the kids, and literally he's offered them a full day in his rig, so I don't think it's going to be any difficult getting them out of bed, to be honest. They get to drive rigs all day, so that was the bribe.
Hey, and they can sleep in the back of the car. You can't, because you're probably driving.
Well, I'm hoping, right, between me and the wife, you know when you say you hope that the wife might do a little bit of driving. We'll just have to see if she is going to do any driving. Now I'm just going to poke my head round the corner because that's where she is anyway. Oh, no, she's not. She's gone off somewhere, so she can't hear me anyway.
You guys can't see James, but I can. And he did just literally peek his head around the corner to look where she was.
Yes, because I didn't want to get slapped round the back of the head, you see. Oh, you got to be careful. Ruben Rodriguez is currently on pole from Team Fordzilla there on a 1:19.92. So there we go. That was actually a slower time than the AMs, with Christoph Lipp going up into second, into pole currently at the moment as well. Rafael Blanco puts it in second place on a 1:19.9. So the AMs weren't far off this pace, Dan, to be honest.
No, not at all. Although we are still early into qualifying. Only 3.5 minutes have elapsed here in this session. And then, well, it's crunch time now, James. 2 rounds left after this one. So if you are in the relegation zone, you do want to get out there. Every point is going to count for you. And if you are at the bottom of the top 10, the same thing counts. Every point is going to count for you because you do want to go to those live finals, because that's, in the end, James, where all these drivers are aiming for.
Yeah, and they are going to have top 10 out of the AMs and Pros. They're going to have the Americas AMs and Pros, top 5 out of each of them as well. So they're going to be busy as well. So to get into that 30-car grid, you've got a lot to do, you know, and it's going to be an exciting final this year. I'm really looking forward to this, especially the fact that the AMs are not far off the times of the Pros. So that's going to be amazing.
Well, the pressure is on, James. So, as I just said, you have to perform well now. It's crunch time. So maybe that is also playing. Maybe the nerves are getting to the drivers a little bit. But yeah, well, the times that we see now, not far off, like you said, of what the AMs are doing. But at the front of the field, we are a little bit quicker.
Yes, I just read Miles Harrington's message there. I got my missus in my rig and she was driving like she was going to the shops. Tell her there's £1 million waiting for her when she gets to the shop, and see how quick she drives then. But Damien G, good evening, young sir. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. It's going to be an amazing day. I cannot wait for that. As I was there sound testing all my microphones and everything this evening. Fighting with some wonderful world of technology and audio. Should be interesting. But, you know, we'll see what happens. They should be good.
Joachim Kjød is coming across the line. He's purple in the second to last sector. Here we go. What can he do? As we see Rodriguez improving as well. That was needed. Joachim Kjød up into second on a 19.5. But there we go. Svanjung Mathiesen. He's up there once again, but pit by Christopher Lipp on a 1:19.108. So the quick times are coming through at the moment, James.
Yeah, they are. They're absolutely flying through currently at the moment. Stefan Severia is there. No time on the board for him at the moment. Ruben Rodriguez is in fourth. Sebastian Lipp as well. Sebastian also on track. There is an off-track registered against Sebastian. I'm wondering whether or not it's off this lap or the next one. So let's see how he gets on before we go down. Well, technically it's up to Ruben Rodriguez. Sebastian Lipp goes into second. What can Ruben Rodriguez do, Dan?
Well, he's just gone across the line, if I'm correct. Oh, no, he's not. He's not. We're looking at him at the moment. No, we're not. The number 12, we're looking at the number 77. This is Svanjung Mathiesen, the man at the moment in fourth. Here he is, Ruben Rodriguez, across the line once again. He's purple in the second to last sector again. What can he do? He needs a 19.1. Doesn't quite get there, but gets a 19.203. That gets him up into second. Behind him, people are improving as well. Sebastian Lipp, Lasse Sørensen just improved. Joachim Kjød also just came across the line. So a lot of people improving, but it doesn't seem like anyone can get close to the time from Christoph Lipp. Everyone at least almost a tenth off.
Yeah, absolutely. They seem to be struggling a little bit. But let's see how they get on and see whether or not there can be improvements. Daniel says you 2:33 on the clock here, Dan. So as he's got this run down. How difficult is it, this circuit down, with this long run down from Shell Oils all the way down into Knickerbrook at the bottom?
Well, you've said it. Turn 7, Knickerbrook. It's a tricky one because it's not quite flat in these cars, even though these cars have a lot of downforce on the outside. You can't go out too wide because if you touch the grass there, James, you are off into the barrier. There's no holding it from that point on. You're so quick through there. And then you, of course, have to run through 8 and 9. I don't know if 9 is flat. I don't know if Water Tower is flat. It looks like a corner that in theory should be flat. But Druids, definitely not flat. We saw that, of course, the early stages of qualifying. But let's see where Daniel Sedgley is going to put his car. He's gone up into 7th. But yeah, James, a difficult track, a very high-speed track, this one. I think the slowest corner on this track is turn 5, Shell Oil's corner.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. Paul Clark coming to the end. Stefan Severia still going around the circuit. He's got this lap to hopefully put in a good time. So let's see how he does here this evening. I think it's going to be a good one, Dan. I think he could be looking at jumping up a little bit up the leaderboard. It'd be great for Stefan if he can.
Well, I have something, James, that confuses me a little bit. And I've just only noticed this now. I've of course been here now for 2 or 3 evenings. But Christoph Lipp drives with the number 1. And if I'm correct, Christoph Lipp was not our champion from last season. Or was he the regular season champion?
No, it's his first season here.
And he's driving the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm correct, number 1 then is not reserved for the championship winner.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. That's why I was confused for a second. I thought Christoph Lipp, is he champion for something that I didn't know of? Anyways, Stefan Seveira across the line, can't improve on his position, doesn't improve on his time. Still though, James, about 1.1 second off of the next car, Flavio Ferreira. What could that be for Stefan Seveira? Maybe a lack of practice there?
Could well be, mate. Could well be. He's about 2 seconds off the pace at the front, so it's going to be interesting to see what Stefan could do. But the grid is up on your screen for you right now, Dan. Have a read and tell us the order of the grid.
Well, we've seen it. Christoph Lipp with a amazingly quick lap time, the 190.108. Gets pole position ahead of Ruben Rodriguez in second. Kjetil Larsen lines up in third position for Dennis Kyrgiakopoulos. Good qualifying for him. Lasse Sørensen as well up in 5th for the IGL coding team. Sebastian Lipp in 6th. Daniel Sedgley 7th. Rafael Blanco 8th. 9th Joachim Kjør. 10th Svanjung Madsen rounding off the top 10. Mike Buson in P11. Martina Ward in P12. Ivan Bremer in P13. Kim-Andre Björklund in P14. 15th, Max Kloppert. 16th, Paul Clark. 17th, Flavio Ferreira. And Stefan Seveira. Radeo Hurgot. I think I pronounced every name correctly. Let me know. But is it 18th? Quite a long name, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. Stefan
Try and say that one in a pressure situation.
Stefan Severia Laurio Hergo. That's how I say it. But then again, I'm not at all remotely an accent on it, so I don't know.
We're both not Spanish, so it's got to be difficult for us, isn't it?
Absolutely. I haven't got a clue. It is what it is, but they've got about 30 seconds left to get on track, so there we go.
I have to say, James, I love this track. It's up and down. It's very quick. Different, of course, variations of the track. Of course, using the fastest, average speed around this circuit. That's the variation we're using. But
here we go.
The red lights are come on.
3, 4, 5. And we are green. Christoph Lipp, Ruben Rodriguez fighting down into turn 1 with Kjetil Larsen behind him. Dennis Kyrgiakopoulos as well is looking at coming up the inside of Kjetil Larsen. Larsen runs a little bit wide. Then we've got Lasse Sørensen, Jakob Kjør. There's Martina Ward in the wall. Martina Ward torpedoes into the wall. Max Klopper, Stefan Severia. Klopper is not on track at the moment, but Martina Ward is trying to come back now and recover. But Buson's in the mix with Blanco, Christoph Lipp out in front. Ruben Rodriguez currently in second place. All through at the moment, down apart from Martina Ward.
Well, Max Kloppert, I think spun somewhere as well. Or he didn't start, he didn't get onto the grid because he's down 3 positions in 18th. Currently isn't running any lap time, so I think Max is either still in the pit lane waiting for something, or is not going to compete in this race. Christoph Lipp, though, a good start for him. Didn't lose any positions. Ruben Rodriguez is pressurizing him in the number 12. But these two seemingly have a little bit of a gap already of 1 second back to Kjetil Larsen.
Yeah, it's early days, mind you. We did see some tyre degradation in the AMs, what led to some incidents towards the back end. Lasse Sorensen currently in fifth. He's fighting away with Kyriakopoulos and Joachim Kjod. Daniel Sedgley in the mix as well. Rafael Blanco has got Sven-Jan Mathiesen for company. Mike Buson in there as well. Rafael Blanco just goes off track. Buson makes it, Sven-Jan makes it through. Then Buson behind Paul Clark, Ivan Bremer, Kim-Andre Bjorklund, Flavio Ferreira, and then Stefan Severia, Lario Hergo is at the back. And then, of course, we've got Martina Ward, because this is what happened to Martina.
Oh, at the start. Is there going to be contact? Oh, well. No, just loses it on his own.
On her own. Her own.
Yeah.
Go back now. Live pictures. Christoph Lipp, Ruben Rodriguez, Kjetil Larsen, Lasse Sorensen, Dennis Kyriakopoulos. So there we go. Kyriakopoulos has lost the position. Sebastian Lipp's in the pits. Sebastian Lipp is in the pits. And this is why. Oh.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Bye-bye, sunshine. That is a difficult one to do there. So easily done.
As soon as you get on the grass there, James, you just run out wide to the barrier. There's no holding it from that point onwards. The grass very slippery, as we know in iRacing. That's not what you want to be doing this early on into the race. 27 minutes still left, 3 minutes gone. Lipp still leading this race. Rodriguez in second, hunting him down. And those two creating a little bit of a gap to Kjetil Larsen. This, however, is the battle for 7th, 8th, 6th and 5th. They're all quite close. Joachim Kjod at the front of this. Kyriakopoulos in front of him. Sedgley in 7th and Mathiesen, who we're on board with on the nose at the moment, in 8th. Is going to try and move round the outside of Shell. Oh, this is such a tricky move to do around the outside there. There's camera on the inside of that corner, so if you do not have that with you, it's going to be tricky to try and make the pass around the outside there, James.
Yeah, Buson's been off track, dropped all the way down to 15th place now as Mike Buson. Kjetil Larsen with Lasse Sorensen right behind him, the boys from IGL E-Racing Red, of course. First rules of racing, don't take out your teammate. So there we go, hope the boys from IGL learn that one. Daniel Sedgley in there with Sven-Jan Mathiesen, and I got a funny feeling it was just running in deep from Buson. So I'm not going to worry too much. Tough battle in this middle field here, mate. I've got to be honest. Tough field.
It's always difficult, of course, if you have to attack and look in your mirror to defend at the same time. Sedgley, though, does seem to be a little bit quicker than Joachim Kjod at the moment, but just can't find the way past. There's nowhere on this track where he, at the moment, can put his car alongside Joachim Kjod. Now through the left-hander of 3. And difficult there in the background, someone off. That's a big off. That's not Ferreira.
No, Kim-Andre Bjorklund. Kim-Andre, yeah, he shot it off track. We can have a look now. Oh, big snap.
That looks like a snap you get when the car is still on cool tires, but I expect that 5 minutes into this race already almost, that isn't the case anymore.
Flavio Ferreira, Stefan Severia and Ferreira. Battling away here down the order for 12th and 13th at the moment. So these guys having a good little ding-dong. Sven-Jan Mathiesen, we've got Daniel Sedgley in front of him. Sven-Jan's trying to get through currently at the moment. Not making it, is he, at the moment? There's just nowhere to go for Sven-Jan. Oh, he's all over the road. Yeah, there's going to be contact. Oh, that could have been close.
Yeah, just cut the nose off Sven-Jan Mathiesen, his car. A fair move though, he was ahead, so he could do that. But it's always tricky to do that. You never know with netcode or anything like that if you're really clear. Svanjung Mattisson though looks quicker than Sedgley at the moment, but where is he going to try it? Sedgley with maybe a little bit of a mistake. So does Svanjung. Now under pressure from Rafael Blanco. Has to watch out, of course. Like I said, it's always difficult if you're attacking and defending at the same time. Because if you try and make a move and you don't succeed, you have the guy behind you, the driver behind you, always looking for an opportunity to try and capitalize on you lacking a little bit of speed coming out of the corner because you tried to make a move. Here we go. Rafael Blanco's going to try it around the outside. Can't quite do it. A fast corner to put it around the outside there. Tricky corner to already go flat through on your own. And, well, that didn't help going through there side by side.
Oh, he's not!
Oh, he's not!
Svanjung Mattisson! You're now in 11th. Possibly soon to be 12th if you don't get underway. Right on, he got a little bit squirrely. Then his rear went on the grass and he hit the brake. And around he went. He went round and round there, unfortunately for him. So, poor Svanjung Mattisson. Down he goes. Not good.
No, not at all for Svanjung Mattisson. Luckily for Svanjung, his position in the championship for the moment is quite secure. He can afford himself an off day in terms of where he is in the championship at the moment, but he can't have too much of them, because if he's going to do this the last 2 rounds after this, he's going to make it very tough for himself.
Yeah, well, he's got 22 minutes remaining. Lap times of a 1:19. He's still got a long old time to go. He could do with Joachim Kyo jumping Dennis Kyrgiakopoulos, I can tell you that much. But unfortunately for Svanjung, he's got a lot of battling back through the field here at the moment. And he's got Flavio Ferreira in front of him as well. So, there was, yeah. He's got a lot of battling to do with the ever-looming Mike Bousson behind him.
This battle, though, still raging on. Daniel Sedgley trying to find a way past Kjerd. Now, though, Rafael Blanco released by Svanjung Mattisson, who has been overtaken, I think, by Ferreira as well, now down to 12th. Sedgley, though, has to watch in his mirrors as well. Blanco seems to be quick, so does Sedgley. Difficult corner, this one, not quite flat. And then, of course, Shell corner, a difficult one to try and make a move. I've said it already. Round the outside, really difficult because the camber is on the inside there, James. Yeah,
definitely. They've got to stick to that inside line. There's no shadow of a doubt here. You know, they've got to be finding the pressure. Rafael Blanco is behind Daniel Sedgley. Ivan Bremer's behind that as well. Joachim Kyrgiakopoulos into the barrier. Kyrgi's in the barrier. So also, if I'm not mistaken,
the last corner
was Kjell Larsen. Kyrgiakopoulos and Larsen. I think it must have been these guys together. Let's have a look now. Yes, side by side.
Was there contact? It sounded like it.
Yeah, there was a little, looked like a little, yeah, a little bit, mate, a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But Bousson's battling away with Ferreira now. Oh, Ferreira's making it difficult. Bousson's trying to go up the inside of Cascades. Ferreira's got in a little bit deep. Is he going to be able to hold it? He does for a minute. And then Daniel Sedgley with Joachim Kjerd right behind him. Stefan Severia is going to get Ferreira as well. Into Islands we go. Those guys are through and done and dusted. But Daniel Sedgley in 4th, battling away with Joachim Kjerd, Rafael Blanco. Larsen down into 7th now after that little incident with Kyrgiakopoulos. Tough for them, mate. It really was.
A bitter one for Kyrgiakopoulos. So it is for Mattisson, but he's trying to work his way up the order. Daniel Sedgley, though, in 4th now. He's done an incredible job the last 2 laps to get up into P4. Next target for him will be Lasse Sørensen, 3 seconds up the road. And Lasse Sørensen his last lap time, a 1:19.6. Last lap time for Daniel Sedgley, a 1:19.52. So he was a little bit quicker there than Lasse Sørensen was. Rafael Blanco in the background, using all the track available to him to try and make a pass on Joachim Kjørt, who's of course defending fiercely on him. And well, he's not gonna let him pass easily. We've seen that with Daniel Sedgley as well. Rafael Blanco's gonna have to work for this one.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to roll over and go, here mate, have my position away from me. It's never going to happen, do you know what I mean? I think they're going to be sitting back thinking, well, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it on track. You know, Rodriguez and Lip getting a little bit closer. Ruben Rodriguez has brought the time down to about 3 tenths currently at the moment. You know, again, it's the same thing. Lip's not going to roll, Christoph Lip is not going to roll over and say, there you go, mate, off you go, is he? It's never going to happen.
No, there would be no reason for him to do so. This, though, is the battle for the lead. Rodriguez keeping Christoph Lip honest. The last lap time was a little bit quicker for Christoph Lip, about 1.5 tenths. Let's see what they do this time round. Lip comes through in a 1:19.4 and Rodriguez in a 1:19.3. So both are, well, trailing each other with quicker lap times. And it seems like Christoph Lip is not going to be able to shake Rodriguez off easily. He's going to be under pressure if he can't find any more pace here until the end of the race, I think.
Well, mate, their total is about 12.4k between them. Just these two, mind you. So, you know, I'm not expecting them to be shaking each other off very easily. Of course, Ruben Rodriguez on 7.1 and Christoph Lip on 5.3. So, from that point of view, Dan, I think they've got the skills and the potential to be able to do it with each other, you know what I mean? And fight the places that they can fight.
Well, they're only 12-something K together. Only, I say. Oh, of course, that's incredible. Of course, these guys really quick in almost everything they drive. That's how you get I-rating, basically. Being quick in everything you drive. Joachim Kjørt, meanwhile, in 6th. Trying still, or has been overtaken, sorry, by Rafael Blanco. Of course, last lap, Rafael Blanco was behind Joachim Kjørt. I don't know where that happened. I don't know if you have a replay of the overtake. But Joachim Kjørt now behind Rafael Blanco. Interested to see now if Blanco can try and chase down Sedgley as well, because it looked like Blanco at some point in this race was quicker than Sedgley as well.
Yeah, we can have a look now. Kjørt just gets a slow exit out of Lodge. And unfortunately for him, that's allowed Blanco up the inside into turn 1. And he just slips it through and he gets the job done. So there we go, that's how that one happened.
Well, he's now going to have to try and stick in the slipstream of Joachim Kjørt. The gap is about half a second. But, well, Larsen is now trying to overtake him as well. Gap already opened up to a second for Joachim Kjørt. And, well, it seems like that Kjørt, the more laps you do, the further he's dropping back from the two guys in front of him. The longer he can hold on to the slipstream from Blanco, I think, it will be a small victory for Kjørt to try and hang on to the slipstream. But as you can see already, it's going to be a very distant tow now with the gap up above a second.
Yeah, definitely on that one. These guys are coming back closer and closer. They're in with half a second at the moment. Ruben Rodriguez and Christoph Lip, of course. Sebastian Lip went out on lap 2 at Island Bend. Can we say, the faithfulness of running wide at Island put him onto the grass, and then unfortunately for him there was nothing but tyre barrier stopping him there after that. But Svanja Mathiesen is battling away with Mr. Paul Clark. Now, I will say, from Clark's perspective, he drove this track last night and he did an absolute barnstorming job, right? And he made it so difficult for the cars behind him to pass him. And I'm expecting that again today, to be fair. Svanja's not going to find this easy. He's not going to find this easy whatsoever to get past Paul Clark.
Well, oh, what was that? It sounded like something happened there. But Paul Clark, yeah, like you said, he's not doing bad, of course. We saw him last time round in the endurance stage as well. Very quick there. So like I said, Mathiesen is going to have to work for this one, but it might be done here. Are they going to go through turn 7 side by side, James? Surely not.
No, Clark backed out. Clark backed out and like Spanian through. Yeah, probably. I think it's probably better that way. Blanco is off
track.
Yeah, he's off track. He's into the barrier. What has he got? No, he's got nothing in that car. He's gone straight back to the pits. Yep, done.
Completely damaged.
Blanco is out, but Paul Clark still battling away now. He's got Mike Bousson for company. Bousson had to take avoiding action there, I think, would be the easiest way of putting that one. So, there we go. We've got Christoph and Sebastian. Sebastian come back out on track again. But it looks like he's had another... Oh, Sebastian lip. Wow.
Yeah. It didn't seem like he lifted through turn 7 there.
Well, I think he did, but the back end had already come round behind him. And let's have a look at... Oh, that's the back end of that.
Oh, wow, that's a big hit. And honestly, I don't know who was that going through there. I think that was... Well, maybe Madison, wasn't it? No, Madison was a little bit further back, but wow, that was a... Lucky to get through there.
That's
I think it was Madison indeed.
Yeah, that's what Blanco saw. As he went torpedoing into the pit, Severia and Ferreira are swapping places backwards and forwards here. Great driving from these guys, managing to keep it clean. Battle down in 11th from 12th. I would say Ferreira, now I'm going to say Severia. Now I'm going to say Ferreira. And now, I think, it's going to be Severa. So there we go. It's
not done yet.
No, not done at all, Dan.
Oh, are they going to switch positions again? Yes, they are. Severa now once again passed into turn 3. Just got a better exit out of turn 1 and carried that speed all the way down the hill into turn 3. And now he finds himself back up into 11th position once again. Can he hold on to it this time round? These two have been swapping positions left, right and centre. But that it makes for a great viewing, these two. And well, you might say that they're not the quickest overall at the moment, but they are keeping it on track. And with that, they've gained quite a lot of positions. Of course, Ferreira up 5 and Severa is up 7, the biggest gainer in the field.
Yeah, and look who's in the background, the recovering Martina Ward as well. So she's in with a bit of a shout if these guys do come together. Have taken some nice good points here, considering her turn 1 incident, and battled her way back through. Everybody in front of them, Bjorklund, Kyrgiakopoulos, Blanco, Lip, and well, Klopper had a problem. Unfortunately, my game sort of froze when clicking the grid button. Options and garage were still working, but the grid button would not count down. So there we go. That's what happened to him. And Martina Ward now is going to have a go at Ferreira coming down into turn 1. Martina Ward on the left, Ferreira on the right. Who's just going to come out the other day? It's going to be Ferreira at the moment. But this is a great little scrap down the back end of the field here, Dan.
3/10 is the gap, and it seems like she's got up to pace, and there we go, another better exit out of turn 3. Ferreira losing some pace. Is this maybe tire wear for Ferreira coming into play? But you know what, she's going to have to keep it on track. It's difficult if you go for the inside line there, because it does slow you down on exit. Luckily on exit there, not a long run into Cheryl's corner. And she does keep hold of 12th place. However, a long slipstream section here now down into Knickerbrook. And he's going to try and look his way around the outside as Ferreira, not quite able to do so. Now Martina Ward, is she going to be looking to Severa? 2 seconds the gap almost, because these two are fighting. But not impossible at all with 10 minutes on the clock here.
Yeah, this is a great little scrap here. Another one that's going off as well is the Mike Bousson battle and Svanja Matheson. These guys have been down to about 2 tenths as we're getting down into turn 1. 9:38 on the clock. See how they get on. David Waters loved this layout of Oulton, says David. We're brutal at the end of it, he put. And then P7 for Ewan Bramer from the Platinum Racing Team. So Miles Owens, of course, the other members of the Platinum Racing team, and our very own Dan Peebles is in that team. Poor team.
Yes, I am.
Poor team.
Yes, exactly. Poor team. You have to deal with me.
Poor team. Keown presses in P5 with a minimal practice this week. Yeah, but I do wonder, right? I'm going to put this out there, that do we not think that the drivers who don't practice, you know, I saw John McHutchison turn up yesterday in a session, go out and absolutely smash it. You know,
Oh! That was a big snap from Madison. Sort of got you up there, James.
That's fine. He
But
held it.
Mike Bousson all of a sudden had to stamp on the brake because Madison ahead of him got a big snap into turn 7. How did he hold that?
Because he could drive the car, Dan.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if you put him through that 9 other times, he's going to spin it at least 7 times out of 10. That was it.
You know he's a Norwegian Viking, right? Don't annoy him too much, mate.
I know.
Okay, I'm just saying.
That was just a really difficult one to catch.
Well, he did. He's Sven Young, of course he did. He's like Superman, mate. He's Superman. You know, Superman Sven Young, that's what he is. So unbelievable there as well, but absolutely stellar job from Sven Young there as well. Absolutely amazing catch on that one. But what I was saying was before is, do we think the drivers know this circuit enough that the minimal practice can not hurt them almost, if you get what I mean?
Well, at some point, watch this then. Bousson going for a move in the outside. Surely they're not going to go side by side through 7. They're going to try it though. A lot of respect needed from both drivers. Bousson's going to try and cut back, get the better exit. But Madison has got this covered so far. Going back to what you were saying, James, yes, I think at some point, if you drive tracks enough and if you spend enough time on the simulator, that at some point you're going to become natural at the track. Like, I've done a lot of laps now at Daytona, and of course the LMP2 changed this season to what it was last season, but it still felt kind of familiar, and I was up to speed pretty quickly. Knowing me, I'm not a quick driver at all, so I wasn't up to top split pace at all. I wasn't even with practice, but I was up to speed to where I would have been with the quicker LMP2, well, last year. So, you know, practice makes perfect, you know what they say?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they say.
Well, that's what they say. You know, you're talking about a man who's going to Interlagos on a TCR on Monday, so stay tuned for that one because that should be absolutely amazing. But then again, I do love Interlagos, and I do get on quite well there, so it's going to be interesting in that Audi TCR on Monday for the RLTC round 3, I believe.
Do you need an engineer still, James? Because I could volunteer to be engineer.
I don't need an engineer. I've got my spotters and everything. I'm fine. You know what I mean?
No annoying Dan in your ear.
No, I can't think of anything worse than having an annoying Dan in my ear, to be honest. I've got to be honest. Dan,
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
James knows what he's doing.
You might get a Kimi Räikkönen moment with a few beeps in the middle. You know, please leave me the beep, because I know what I'm in doing.
Yes.
Crashing, generally, if it's anything like last week's race, of course.
Go and watch it back if you haven't seen it. It's a great laugh trying to see James, get the little TCR around the track and failing terribly at it.
I didn't. I got taken out, mind you. I'd like to point out that actually one of the incidents I did get taken out on did result in a penalty for the other driver. So there you go. That wasn't me. I didn't do that.
It's what they all say, James.
I'll send you a screenshot if you want me. If you don't believe me.
Oh no, you're a racing driver just as much as I am. I know these are excuses.
Dan Peebles has just left the building ceremoniously via a window here this evening as we tune in from Oulton Park live on the JPB YouTube channel with myself, James Parfitt, and no longer with me, Dan Peebles. So much love to you all here as well. Bousson still battling away with Sven Young down in 8th and 9th place. That was a bit harsh, Dan. I've got to be honest.
Can I come back in?
No.
Okay. Well then, Bousson, still on the back of Madison. We come back at the perfect time. for Matheson, not for Buson though in the number 13. Goes straight on into the last corner. Just a little bit too late in the brakes, I think there, James. Just locked up all four.
Yeah, he did, unfortunately. Just ran in that little bit hot. And unfortunately for him, locked up. Dropped into a little bit of the clutches of Paul Clark. But I think he's going to be able to reopen that gap up as well. Kyrgiakopoulos battling away with Ferreira now. Kyrgiakopoulos, obviously, after his incident, is battling away with Flavio Ferreira. You know, Dennis has got a lot to do here this evening. He didn't, you know, didn't put himself in the best light when him and, well, I don't know if it wasn't even him, I think. Between him and Larson, lap 7, going into Knickerbrook too wide was always going to be dangerous anyway, Dan. And they kind of just, you know, it was what was going to happen, wasn't it? That slight little bit of contact put Kyrgiakopoulos on the grass. Couldn't stop the SR10 after that.
Björklund off the track into turn 5. Shell oil corner. That's just straight on into the wall. Braking a little bit too late, I suspect. And that has it out. Kyrgiakopoulos and Ferreira up into P13 and 14 respectively. Kyrgiakopoulos trying to fight his way back after the incident that he had earlier on with contact with Larson.
He's going to get it now. Yeah, up through Clay Hill it goes. Then it's Kyrgiakopoulos gets done. Miles Owens is talking to you in YouTube, Dan. He's left you a nice comment. So thank you to Miles for that one, for aiming that specifically at Dan Peoples. Much love. But there we go.
If I'm correct, you're also the one in the booth with me. So, you know,
we're
both. we're both in the same boat. We both are not quick enough to drive competitively. We like to trundle around at the back of the field. Not have anything to do with the quick drivers. Not annoy them. Maybe if they lap us, but
True.
you know,
True.
That's why we're in the booth.
Yeah, I think you guys, you know, you drivers have got loads and loads and loads of time to go out and drive. Us commentators, when we're booking 5-6 races a week, I got no time. I got no time to drive. Yeah, it does. It makes it terribly difficult to get practice in here. But Lasse Sorensen with Daniel Sedgley right up behind him at the moment. And we're going to have
contact.
Yeah, slight little bit. We're going to have one and one more, I think. But yeah, Sorensen and Sedgley battling away nicely in 3rd and 4th place currently at the moment.
Sedgley has closed this gap. This gap was at some point, I said it, 3 seconds, and he's closed it down in the dying stages of this race. 9 seconds to Rodriguez and Lip up front. Lip has been leading this race from start to finish. Doesn't seem like Rodriguez is going to be able to do anything without a mistake from Lip. But hey, you have to be close in order for you to capitalize on a mistake if it comes. Matheson into the pit lane. Could this be a drive-through for incident points? Yes, it is.
Straight through, drive-through.
Doesn't pull into his pit box. That's a drive-through. Back to the battle for 3rd. The last spot onto the podium. Sedgley has closed his gap down from 3 seconds all the way down to 2.5 tenths. Is he going to be able to overtake Sorensen into the last, well, 1.5 laps of this race? He's worked so hard to close this gap down. He now has the slipstream, you should say. If he was able to close that gap down, he should be able to overtake him as well. And yes, indeed, James, we are going to have another one. We're going to be on to the last lap now for Lip. Here we go. I don't see Barry waving the white flag,
He's at the end of the barrier. He's at the end of the barrier. If you have a look at the end of the barrier, he's there for some reason.
There he is.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure why he's at the end of the barrier this time, but, you know, Barney's at the end of the barrier. So these guys have got one more lap to do it here. Can Sedgley clear Sorensen? Can we see it?
Now. He needs a good exit now out of 3. Doesn't quite get it though. A little bit out of shape on the entry of turn 3 and then couldn't quite get the exit he wanted. Now it's going to be difficult though. He's going to have to try something, maybe into turn 5 or into turn 7. But do you want to try and risk your P4 you already have into turn 7?
You tell Daniel Sedgley. Yeah, you tell Daniel Sedgley not to risk it for a biscuit.
He wants the inside, is not going to get it. Sorensen's going to keep it pinned to the inside. They're going to go side by side through turn 7. There's flag. There was always going to be contact.
No room.
I said it. There was always going to be contact between the two. And Sedgley is going to retire from this race. He's going to go back to pit lane. And like I said, he risked it all onto the last lap. Christopher Lind, though, comes through to win the race ahead of Rodriguez. But wow, what a race that was in the end. Well, not what you want. Lasse Sørensen is going to come through to take his third place. There was contact between the two. You could argue he's pushed off, but that was never, ever, James, going to work side by side through there.
Did he leave him room?
I don't know. The contact was quite early on into the corner already.
Let's have a look, Dan. Let's have a look.
We're going to have a look at it. Here we go. He's alongside, so he has to leave him the space now.
Oh, he hit the curb!
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
that's just a hard break.
Yeah, look at Lasse Sørensen's rear right wheel. He hits the inside curb that bounces him into Sedgley. Watch, there. Oh.
And what you can argue there is, if you look, if we could go on board with Lasse Sørensen for one final time.
2 seconds then.
Here's the checkered flag. There we go. Look where his left side tire ends up
there
on the curb here. Look, there was never gonna be room there for Daniel Sedgley to put his car there. So he would have never been able to leave him the room. Would he have been able to if he didn't touch the curb? That's the question to be asked, and we'll never know the answer because, well, we're gonna have to replicate it if we want to know the answer of that.
Yeah, well, the results are on your screen there, Dan. Why don't you take us through the final finishing position?
Well, there we go. Well, wasn't quite a dominant victory, but it was a victory for Christopher Lipp from start to finish. Took pole and wins the race as well. I think led every lap from this race. Ruben Rodriguez couldn't quite pass him. 4/10 the gap in the end, which for 30 minutes of sprint racing is not bad at all. Kept him honest for the whole race and kept him under pressure. Sadly for Ruben Rodriguez, though, Christopher Lipp didn't crack under the pressure. Didn't make one single mistake in order for Ruben to get past. That's a certain, so we saw on the last lap, together with Daniel Sedgley, took third position. Maybe one for the stewards to look at there on the last lap, but, well, we're going to see what comes of that. Joachim Kjød and Kettle Larsen, 4th and 5th, respectively. Iwan Bremer gets up into 6th for Platinum Racing Team. So he passed Mike Bousson as well, I think, on, the final closing laps there. Mike Bousson, like I said, in 7th. Paul Clark in 8th. Stefan Severa in 9th. Martina Ward in 10th. Svanjung Mattelsen in 11th. After, of course, a difficult start of the race. Tried to work his way up the order. Could only get up into P11. Dennis Kiriakopoulos in 12th, of course, worked his way back up the order. Flavio Ferreira in P13. 14th for Kim Andre Björklund. And then we have our non-finishers. Daniel Sedgley, Rafael Blanco, Sebastian Lipp, and of course Max Kloppert with his screen freeze, I think it was, not finishing this race. But James, absolute heartbreak for Daniel Sedgley on the last lap.
Yeah, and do you know what's worse as well is like you want to sit back and go, it wasn't anyone's fault because of the way that he bounced off the curb. But I tell you what we'll do, let's bring in Christoph Lipp into the booth this evening. Good evening, Christoph. How are you, sir?
Good evening, James. I'm thirsty.
Okay, mate, grab a drink. I'll have a chat with you in a minute.
It's all fine. I'm, of course, very happy after that intensive race. I think for you guys to watch it was not so interesting. In the front, no overtakes. But sitting in the car there with Ruben always half a second behind me, it's really crazy. It was tough.
Yeah, and do you know what though, right? I'm not going to sit back and say that you guys didn't do an amazing job, because you did. Yeah, we caught bits of your battle when it dropped down to about 3 or 4 attempts. We could come forward to you, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You guys provided a race, and you've done a stellar job. You know, you led from start to finish. No incidents between yourselves, or you or Ruben, which is one of the best ways to be in league racing anyway. But a victory is a victory, Christoph. You know, it doesn't matter whether or not you won by 20 seconds, 30 seconds, or 4 attempts like it was tonight. A victory is a victory, buddy, and give yourself a pat on the back for that one.
Yeah, that's right. And as I said, I'm happy, and I don't expect to or I don't need to finish with 20 seconds, as you said. I just wanted to say that is super tough if you have always someone behind you. And yeah, he kept me busy the whole race. And some corners I was really struggling. But yeah, now it's done.
And we go on to Legacy Silverstone Circuit next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I prefer more the how to say the Formula One tracks.
Yeah,
the Grand Prix tracks. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to race. My brother Sebastian will also be happy that we will get on that track. I think he prefers that one much more than Oulton Park, and yeah, looking forward to.
Well, yeah, your brother didn't have a good race tonight, mate. So you might need to, go and give him a cuddle or something. He didn't have a good one. He did.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was a tough one. But Christoph, thank you so much for joining me. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Some greetings to Sebastian, of course, and then my wife again, and also to the whole organizational team of that league here. It's absolutely great what they do, investing so much time, preparing everything on such a professional way. And also you guys in the commentator seats, that's amazing. It's super fun to watch that. So thanks for that.
No worries at all, Christoph. Thank you so much for joining me. And let's see. We'll look forward to seeing how you get on next week at Silverstone, buddy.
Yes. See you.
Take care. Right, next up in the booth is Lasse Sorensen, involved in the battle with Daniel Sedgley right the way down to the final lap, and what came of it was, unfortunately, Mr. Sedgley did end up in the left-hand wall. But I will say, Lasse, just so you don't feel bad, it wasn't your fault, buddy. Welcome into the booth. How are you?
Well, thank you. I'm fine. I'm so happy after my baddest week in iRacing, I think, in the officials. So many incidents, lots of license, and a lot of iRating. But I was determined to get up to pace and understand the traffic picture in this track, and finally I got some payment.
Yeah, definitely. That battle with Daniel Sedgley right the way down to the last lap was incredible, wasn't it? It was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, I was pushing so hard from lap 4-5 to try to catch up to both Lip and Ruben Rodriguez. So I did burn my tires slightly, so I was struggling from lap 14, 15 and all the way out. So I saw Sedgley coming up from behind, and I knew it would be a close battle at the last couple of rounds. And I spoke with Sedgley in the chat afterwards, so we are both friends and happy still. So, yeah.
Well, I will say it wasn't your. I'm going to say it wasn't your fault, right? And the reason I'm going to say that is your rear right tyre. Do you know there's that little bit of a curb at the end of Knickerbrook?
Yeah.
Your rear right tyre hit that curb, and then put your car to the left. And unfortunately, the car left of that was Daniel Sedgley. So it wasn't entirely your fault, but it was a great battle all in all. Onwards and upwards into Silverstone we go, young sir. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the layout I normally run, but I think we're going to manage that after a week of training as well. So I'm looking forward to Silverstone, of course. So, yeah, for sure.
Okay, no worries there as well. Thank you so much, Lasse, for joining me. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Of course, all my teammates in EGL Coatings e-racing, pushing us hard, and also Slow-Mo that we are also practicing with sometimes. And not at least our sponsors, Sande Trafikkskole, IGL Coatings, Alien Spa, and Elverdi.
Excellent stuff. Well, thank you, Lasse, for joining me, and I look forward to having you chat maybe next week at Silverstone, buddy.
Hopefully, yes.
Take care, mate.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. So there we go. There is me and Dan back up in the booth now. And I think you've got to admit, Dan, that race was absolutely unbelievable. Onwards and upwards. It wasn't Sorensen's fault. His tyre did hit that little bit of a curb and bounced him out, unfortunately. But overall, it was a good race. Lip and Rodriguez put on a show. People behind them put on a show. And probably a fair result for most of the top, probably 7 or 8, to be fair.
Yeah, a great race. By the way, I have been let back in by James. He threw me out of the window. I had to climb all my way back up, but I'm back in the booth. No, it was an amazing race from start to finish. Of course, we had Mattheson, which was a big moment in the race as well. Of course, spinning off at the last corner. Kiriakopoulos made contact with Ketel Larsen. Also a big moment for both of those drivers. Ketel Larsen I think came out of that better than Kyrgiakopoulos did. The contact was only light though, so I don't think Kyrgiakopoulos will be too mad on Kjetil Larsen for that. And then of course the big Blanco crash as well. Lucky, I think, for Joachim Good not to get caught up in that, because it was just choose left or right for him. So great action throughout the whole race. And then, of course, that last lap between Sedgley and Sørensen, well, it just tells you how close it was, this race. At the top, I don't think the gap opened up above a second for the whole race.
Yeah, it did. It stayed well that time, and it was amazing as well. It was an amazing battle right the way down, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to possibly get time, if I do get time, to watch it back, or on Sunday when I get back home from my little day trip out at iLounge Racing tomorrow. But that is it, guys, rounding it up from myself and Dan Peoples. Don't forget, after this, guys, we've got the SRL GR86 fun race from Okayama, and I believe we've got the mighty Dean Biggles and William Dent are currently setting up for the Bathurst 12 hour as well. So if you want to have a sit back and watch some of the Bathurst 12 hour, that will be going on the JPB YouTube channel as well, so you can tune in for that one. But I think for now, guys, from myself and Dan Peoples, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, I might see you on the track sometime. Good night.